10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6.
Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is May 8th and we've got a whole bunch of updates for you, so let's get started. So the first things first, this morning I published a new episode of Launchpad. Launchpad, if you don't know, is the interview series I do with people who are in the Rocket Pool community and building on Rocket Pool. So this episode was with Rhett Shipp, who is the founder of Gravita. As you can see on the screen, he shares his crypto journey in the episode, how he got into crypto, how he really enjoyed learning about Ethereum and kind of went deep into the rabbit hole with Ethereum. And then around DeFi summer, how he just it kind of blew his mind. Even before then, stuff like Maker and whatnot. But DeFi summer is when he really got into crypto in a big way, and so much that he got a job in crypto. And then after that, how he thought of Gravita and the product and going towards launching Gravita. So this was a really great chat with Rhett. I really enjoyed his passion as a founder and as a developer and all the work that's going into Gravita. It's a very exciting protocol. It really kind of blew my mind of what can be done with borrowing protocols right now. And Gravita seems to be really focused on helping protocols like Rocket Pool grow. In fact, the team even has a couple of Rocket Pool members working as devs. There's Fornax, who everyone knows that I totally love, and also Munchkinner as well. So it's really great that I got Rhett on there. The product is launching soon, TM. They're aiming for a mid-May release, and Rhett also talks about the token that might or might not, will probably happen as well. So definitely give this episode a listen if you are all interested in some of the protocols that are building on top of Rocket Pool or adjacent to Rocket Pool. From day one, Gravita is going to be integrating rETH into their protocol. So I'm really wishing them the best of luck, and I think it was a really great chat. It's slightly different from other chats that I've done on Launchpad before, because those were more like Rocket Pool community members. And even though Rhett is in and out of the community, he was in the one of the people in the IMC in the beginning. He's been around for a while, right? But he's not as active as other people in the Rocket Pool community directly. But I think that this was a really great conversation, because it's going to impact a lot of rETH holders because of them being able to borrow against their rETH in a really great way. So it was really nice to have Rhett on, and thanks Rhett. So that's really cool. Let's get to some news that happened over the last few days about this kind of solo staker. So it says a non-fungible Yoakum here says, did you see there was a solo conversion operator that didn't set their fee recipient? Now, those of you who might not know, is basically that when you set up a Rocket Pool mini pool or a validator, you have the fee recipient, the money the money where that ETH goes, the rewards that it accumulates. If you're in the smoothing pool, then those will go to the smoothing pool, and if you are not in the smoothing pool, then it will go to a contract where it is divided between you and the rETH holders. Well, it seems like a solo staker migrator didn't set their credentials properly, and they took the whole of that block reward instead of sharing it with our rETH holders. Now, for those of you who've been watching Rocket Fuel for a long time, you'll know that this is a big no-no. We don't have penalties set up for this yet, but it's been strongly I'd say even stronger than strongly hinted at. It's been pretty much confirmed that retroactive penalties of some kind would apply to people who misbehave with their fee recipient. So let's get some more information here, right? The person wrote a post on ETH Finance saying, "Oh man, got the biggest block proposal I've ever had, and it's going to the smoothing pool. Lol, the 1 month I decide to opt in." And he says, "I guess I'll see what the next reward period gives me to decide whether or not I want to stay in." And then he says, "Actually, wait, apparently it went to my original solo fee recipient instead. This was solo validated, migrated to LEB8s, still externally managed. that shouldn't go to me. Might be a weird quirk or bug with the migration process, else the docs are missing a step and my brain assumed part of the process was rerouting the address like it does normally, the more likely reason. So then people in the Rocket Pool community started talking about it, and here Joe says probably someone keeping the key in the old VC. I'll have to update the docs to make it very clear that if you do this, you have to set the VC config file to change the fee recipient on that pub key. I should have done it when I got back from vacation, but it got buried with other stuff. It's basically an unsupported config. We don't have run everything in Rocket Pool except the VC, which is like backwards from hybrid. So Joe was already acknowledging that there might have been a gap in the documents there. And then there was this information here, like Noshua was just kind of like other people were talking about it quite a lot, like non-fungible Yoakum and Noshua, of course, Valdorf, Ramana, Fornax. So Fornax, well, what happened then is there was this announcement from Langers saying, hey everyone, to all solo staker migrators, please be aware we have updated our documentation for clarity. When you migrate your solo staker, you must assign the correct fee recipient. Failure to do so may cause you to be penalized in the future. Assigning the correct fee recipient ensures that you are fairly sharing execution rewards with rETH holders. Please see the documentation here. So the documents were updated about assigning the correct fee recipient. So that information hole has been plugged. And then Fornax went back to Reddit and messaged the migrator saying, thanks for sharing this, we brought the attention to the team, we're going to improve the docs, and you should fix up basically. And Fornax then said, if you want to make things right, you can deposit that amount received into the smoothing pool address, and there was a link to the address was written there. Check the Rocket Pool Discord server to verify this is the correct address. We're also suggesting to the team for a way for users who fix mistakes to avoid being penalized by the protocol in the future. You can also join that conversation on Discord if you want. And then Betos did a nice thing here saying, will do, the amount should be sent over momentarily. So they sent the amount to the smoothing pool, which was really nice. And he says, I also opened a pull request on the docs with an initial draft of that direction in case the team wanted to check it out. So of course that has then been implemented and put onto the docs. So hopefully people who are migrating in the future will not need to, like, they'll just be able to follow the process as it happens. But for others who have not yet who have already migrated and might not have set their free recipient properly, please make sure that you do that, or else there's a possibility of you being penalized in the future. So just follow the instructions that are in the link here, and you'll be able to get that done. Okay, so next we have a whole bunch of stats from over the weekend that you can have a look at. The first one is, like, we had some more big deposits into the deposit pool. So here there was a deposit of 5,000 ETH. And then we also now have a whole lot of mini pools that are still waiting. Let's scroll down to have a look. So there's been 3,234 bond reductions, 5,324 new mini pools, 100 solo staker migrations have started. So that's really cool. And then there's this new stat here now that Dr. Worm added, that is 1,194 mini pools were withdrawn from the beacon chain. That number is slightly higher than I expected it to be, but like, I can only tell you about myself. So on my node, I had 3 mini pools that I've withdrawn that will then get put back in the next month or so. So maybe that's the case with others as well. I don't know for sure. I can't say that for sure. But there's been some really nice, the fact that we've got 5,000 new mini pools since since Atlas. That means that we're pretty much going to be increasing by just less than 50% so far, which is really awesome. And then here's the new information about the withdrawals. So 1,194 mini pools have been withdrawn as well. So another thing that's been happening is, because of the high gas fees and the volatility on Ethereum mainnet, there's been a whole lot of nice smoothing pool blocks. So here, 1 ETH, 1.1 ETH, 1.4 ETH, 2 ETH, and so on. Like these blocks have been coming in really frequently. Every day there's multiple blocks that are bigger than 1 ETH. So the lottery blocks really are coming in for the smoothing pool. Like this, let's have a look at what's been happening with that, right? So people are seeing these big blocks coming in. So then we're getting these huge node operators. So this person over here has 140 mini pools, and they are now joining the smoothing pool with their mini pools. So this is the kind of thing that we're starting to see, where bigger and bigger entities are joining the smoothing pool. One of the reasons why that's happening is because the smoothing pool balance is currently 431 ETH with 2.5 days to go. So we are well on track for having the best ever. Like this is already the best ever month for the smoothing pool. We're well on track for, like, smashing all expectations. There's even a small chance that we could potentially reach 500 ETH in the smoothing pool. One of the reasons, of course, for that is because the number of validators that are now in the smoothing pool has grown, and they're going to bring more ETH with them. So if you're watching, you're about to fall off the smoothing pool's largest nodes. So I really think you should spin up some more mini pools and get up that list. But yeah, like one of the things then that's happening because of all this smoothing pool stuff. Wait, that is not the right link. This is what we want to see. One of the things that's happening is that, oh wait, where did that go? Here we are. Yeah, so we got a new milestone reached with rETH. So the bot says 300 and 300,273 rETH has now been issued, which is really nice landmark milestone there. And if you have a look at this chart here on the deposit pool page of RocketScan website, it's just like a hockey stick moment. Like the numbers have just like rocketed upwards, which is fantastic to see. We're seeing so many deposits coming in. So for example, every day, since April 30th, every day in May, we've had over 1,000 deposits into the deposit pool. Since Atlas went live, we've had every day's been over 1,000 ETH except April 30th, which was like last Sunday. But we've had, like 4,000, 3,000, 4,000, 3,000, 6,000, like just great numbers. These weekly amounts now are coming through at kind of the same rate as the previous monthly amounts were. So it's just tremendous. And of course, May so far, even though we're only on the 8th of May, is the third highest month for rETH. Sorry, now the fourth highest month for rETH deposits, because it's nearly bigger than the previous 30,000 target that we had. So the growth for Rocket Pool has just been fantastic to see. And because of that, people are starting to realize it now. So we got this tweet here from Tangy saying Rocket Pool now makes up 7% of the total LSD market share. Keep in mind, Lido has not even enabled withdrawals yet, which may lead to a great deal of funds flowing to other LSTs. So there's a screenshot here, and it says that Rocket Pool staked ETH is now just under 600,000. Of course, that is now over 600,000. And the TVL is growing really well. The market share now has hit 7%. So of the LSTs, so we're still at around just over 3% of the beacon chain market share now, and of course that number is growing, and I think it's going to start growing faster, which is really exciting to see. Okay, so moving on from that, we had this update from Joe where he was showing off his new printer. So Joe says little printer go. So he got this printer, and it's 3 times faster than the previous printer he had, and you can see it just like doing its thing on the screen. For those of you who are listening, it's like moving really rapidly. It's got like this big base. And he says, compared to the Prusa, the best way I can describe this thing is violent. So he's shared a couple of videos of the new printer, and this is the printer that's going to be making the Proteus, which of course is the staking hardware that Joe has created based on the Rock 5B board, for those of you who don't know. So it's looking really good. And then we got some more information as well from Joe over here. showing that on the board he can now make the 2 Protea at a time can be printed, which will make things a whole lot faster. And Joe says, how do you like me now? And then he says printing 2 Proteuses at once, and this new printer has the space to do it. And then later on he gave the time breakdown here. So the time breakdown is 10 hours and 1 minute, and 10 hours 7 minutes for printing 2 Proteus boxes, which I think is nearly twice as fast as before. So hopefully we'll be getting a whole lot of new Proteus machines hitting the market soon. So congrats, Joe, for that, and I hope that it goes well for you. Okay, next we had some people talking about the new Rocket Pool website, and it seems like Noshua caught up on something from one of the Twitter spaces where it's I think either Mav or Joe was able to give a hint that the website is going to be coming soon, and that they're really like in the finishing stages of that now. So I think that's really exciting that the new website is going to be here soon. Hopefully it'll keep some orange, but it'll be more of an accent rather than the in your face like orange that we've had from before. So that's really nice. Nice little tidbit that people might not have caught. Okay, next this RocketSweep website was released by DC McCartney that we talked about last week. It's really nice because if you put in any node address, it will tell you how much ETH is waiting to be distributed. So the address I put in here is Thomas's address, and it shows that there is a whole lot of ETH that is waiting to be distributed here. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I haven't really played around with the website too much, but I covered it at Rocket Fuel last week, where I was letting you all know that DC McCartney was getting this ready, so you can kind of claim your ETH rewards in one easy way. So here, we have Thomas's address entered, and it says what wall.eth, and the undistributed amount is 2,385 ETH across 921 staking mini pools. So 1,317 of that will go to Thomas, and 1,068 of that will go to rETH holders as rewards for them. So that is really, really nice that this will do that for you. I think Thomas should distribute that and then buy RPL with it, but not financial advice, of course. So thanks DC McCartney for putting that together. I think they're going to be working on some updates to that as well, which will make it even nicer. So adding more features to it and stuff, which is awesome. Okay, next we've got some information about some DeFi integrations here, and one of them, there was a message from Intro to DeFi, asking about some co-incentives from Sun Finance. So it says, hello here, not sure if this is the right place to write a proposal, so sorry if it's a mistake. I'm Atakan, team lead from Sun Finance, which is the first and only liquidity market lending protocol in Optimism. Currently we have the biggest total market size in Optimism, have the biggest liquidity for WST ETH and Optimism. We want to add Rocket Pool's rETH as a collateralizable asset on Sun. Then I guess this person reached out to Darren Langers and said that should reach out to the IMC for co-incentivizing the listing. It might help the rETH to have more use case in Optimism, and people put rETH and borrow USDC and ETH against it, and stake more of the rETH with this opportunity. So the fact that you can borrow ETH against it means that there might be the possibility of some hyper staking here, which is really interesting. And then they've got Beethoven boosted pools and all that kind of stuff. So people are still reaching out to the IMC to get these like co-incentives set up, and as far as I know, the IMC is happy to co-incentivize these kind of pools, which is really awesome. Another DeFi integration that we talked about last week was Flash Stake, and they were kind of hinting at some stuff with Rocket Pool. So we got some information about that now. It says get your rETH ready. The Rocket Pool Time Vault launch starts this Friday, so it starts on May 12th. Boosted amounts of upfront yield and LP rewards to be earned for limited time. And here's the major details, major dates to put in your calendar. So there's some like boosting going on here. There's vested stuff, there's non-vested, and then they've got a Twitter space with the Rocket Pool team on the 16th. And then the vault will actually open on the 18th. That's when they will give some bonuses as well. So if you want to take some of your rETH rewards up front, then you'll be able to do that from the 18th. And then the rewards that you will earn from that will be distributed on June 21st. So there's a bit more information about what's happening at each stage here. So you can definitely check out the tweets there and see what's going on with that. Okay, next I've got this thread that Ramana started, and you can find the link of it in the description below. Ramana says, who wants to share a bounty? So one of the things that happened is the Rocket Arb withdrawal Arb bot was set up, was approved as a bounty. Ramana, of course, was the person who worked on the original Arb bot for deposits. So I guess Ramana kind of wants to like take that bounty, and he put out a message saying, if anyone wants to work with me to get the Rocket Arb Smart Node add-on bounty, just reach out. Also for any other bounties that people might be interested in. And Ramana says, and I think I'd be willing to do a 40-60 split, developer to program manager for any bounty, with me as the developer, also open to negotiation. So if you are interested in any of the bounties that are out there, reach out to Ramana, because I guess Ramana wants to try to figure out how to approach some of these bounties that might be happening. So definitely give that a look. Okay, there was some TA that came out about the RPL token and how there might be a potential rally if Bitcoin and Ethereum break their resistances. This was from Cointelegraph, who are one of the bigger crypto news outlets. And here they said, 5 cryptocurrencies with the best upside potential in the week ahead. And on that, then they talk about Bitcoin and ETH as like the keys to the market, and then the ones that they want to talk about is like Monero and OKB, and then the Rocket Pool price analysis as well. It says Rocket Pool is looking strong and it's trading above the moving averages. This shows that the bulls are buying on dips. Bulls will have to propel the price above the overhead resistance at $53.45 to signal that the corrective phase may be over. The RPL USDT pair may thereafter attempt a rally to 58. Another possibility is that RPL price rises from the 20-day EMA at 48.36, but turns down from the $53.45. That will indicate possible range bound action between the 50-day SMA and $53.45 for some time. A break and close below the 50-day SMA will be the first indication that the bears are in command, and that will open the doors for a potential decline to $37. So if you look at the charts, like they're basically saying that if you go below like $46 whatever, then you might see lower lows. So if you have a look at the Binance chart for the last day, we reached $46.27, so just a little bit above of what they said was that point that we shouldn't go below. And since then we kind of bounced a little bit, but we definitely came down from that $53 range, right? $53.45, which is what we hit like I think a couple of weeks ago. We've kind of like reached up to the, not a couple of weeks ago, sorry, that was on the May 4th, so last week. Since then we've kind of been like heading downwards, but maybe we've bounced. So everything I'm saying, of course, right now is technical analysis. Technical analysis is like, I'm going to be very generous when I'm saying this. I'm going to say it's hit and miss. This is very much like, if the price goes up, then it'll keep going up. But if it goes down, it might keep going down. So it's like, it's very, I'm not going to say too much about it. Of course, this is not financial advice. It's just the reason why I'm covering this is because it's really cool that the RPL token, like Rocket Pool's the RPL, is one of those tokens that is now getting some good coverage, and people are like paying attention to it. So it's getting listed in articles like these. It's really growing in the mind share of the crypto communities. So that's awesome to see. Okay, next we had Superfizz sharing this information yesterday, saying that the validator exit queue only has 138 validators left in there, and that we are almost going to be an empty withdrawal queue. Of course, since Shanghai went through, the number of people entering and the number of people exiting kind of balanced each other out, and because there's a bottleneck of 1,800 validators a day, so they were kind of balancing each other out with 1,800 people leaving, 1,800 people entering. But yesterday was the day when the exit queue reached 0, but the entrance queue had over 30,000 validators in there, which is 1 million ETH. A couple of hours later, then Marceau actually saw the moment when they hit 0. He says 0 exiting validators up only from here. And then Fizz released this post as well, this tweet saying, in December 2020, the Beacon chain launched. In September 2022, the proof of stake replaced the proof of work, which was the merge. In April 2023, the withdrawals from staking were enabled. And then on May 7th, those who wish to withdraw completed the action. The withdrawal queue has been emptied. Proof of stake is done. So on the Beacon Chain website, this chart was quite famous because it was literally just like flat, because people were entering and exiting at the same rate, so the charts weren't moving. However, since yesterday, the amount of total ETH staked has started to go up. It's a shame that I can't see this a little bit like further in the past, because I don't know if we did have any dip or not. But yeah, this flat chart explained will not be flat anymore, but it might have small periods of like flatness, because as soon as there's validators waiting to exit, then it kind of becomes flat. But as that empties, then it goes up. And of course, if the pending validators, those wanting to join, empties out, then it will go down as that happens. But yeah, that was really great to see that we're actually moving up now. We're probably at 18 million staked ETH now, nearly 18 million staked ETH, and of course we've got another pretty much 1 million ETH worth of validators waiting to come online, and then on top of that, there's even hundreds, like over 1,000, I think, still Rocket Pool validators that are waiting to come online as well. Let me have a quick look. Mini pools. Yeah, we have 2,000 mini pool queues, 2,000. So there's a whole lot of validators still waiting to come online, over 1 million ETHs worth, and that is really, really exciting to see. Okay, as you all know, I've been talking about the EV Mavericks joining the ODAO. I've talked about it a few times last week. It's a project that I really support. I think it's really awesome. I really hope it happens. So the ETH Finance Dudes Happy Hour happens every Friday afternoon. And in this episode on Friday, they were talking about the EV Mavericks joining the ODAO, what the process of that will be like. Here, we had JT and we had Logic Beach, who were on the call together kind of talking about it, and they talked about my offer to lend the EV Mavericks the bond, which is 1,750 RPL, which at the time that they were recording was worth around $90,000, and they were kind of JT was kind of surprised by that and thought it was really great. But you can go and give that a listen to see what they're thinking about it and what they're talking about. But the EV Mavericks, I know, are working really hard on their side to really make themselves an amazing group of candidates for the ODAO, and a few people from the Rocket Pool community will be helping them with that as well. So I really hope that it works out. And next, finally, we had the latest episode of the Weekly Orbit, which is a weekly recap show that I do with Pat. And I was joking with Pat that his intro to the weekly orbit now looks like so cool. It's like actually cooler than my rocket fuel intro, but he made this using Midjourney and Photoshop. So there's a little intro there for the weekly orbit, making it look like a newspaper. It looks really good. So there's me and Pat talking about like we talk about price, and we talk about like the markets and rocket pool stats, and also like some of the top news of the week. So that's been nice to do a couple of episodes of those, and those will come out. We record them on Fridays. Last week it was released on Saturday, and this week it was released on Friday. So I'm not sure exactly when Pat wants to put them out, but they'll be coming every week for you all to enjoy. So definitely go and give that a follow, and subscribe to Pat's channel. He'll be really grateful for you to do that. Of course, I don't ask for that for myself, but I'm asking for Pat. So any rocket pool content that we get out there, is really great, and I really hope that this picks up, and Pat's really successful with this because he's working really hard on it. So good job. Anyway, I'm going to end today's episode here. It was a packed weekend full of really cool stuff, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.